ShotokuTech, Saturday Story Time. These are the stories that you might have missed while you were caught up in other stories. Welcome back to ShotokuTech, Saturday Story Time, 8 August 2020 edition. Look for the link down below to this Blogspot page where I have all the links to these stories. And let's get started. So first up, we have a trio of stories about invasive species or potential invasive species. All around the country, all 50 states, it has been reported that people have received seeds in the mail from what appears to be China. Their packages are labeled as jewelry, and there's some Chinese language on some of the labeling, but inside they're actually seeds. Now, the Department of Agriculture has identified approximately 14 of the seeds, but they're still analyzing dozens of samples from around the country. Here in this article, they say 22 US states, Canada, Australia, and the EU. I've heard other reports where it's all 50 states and several countries. So you have to consider that this might be just some harmless, what they call brushing, where they send a package and then leave a review on Amazon from the person at that address. But what if these plants are a dangerous invasive species that would affect local crops or human health? This also could be a vector to carry bacteria or mold or fungus, where the seed itself might be harmless, but whatever it's packaged with could also have an effect on crops and human health. So if you receive something in the mail that you didn't order and it happens to be seeds, don't plant it. Please contact the authorities. So our next invasive species report is, yes, murder hornets back in the news. Well, they've managed to trap one in a bottle trap on July 14th. Now, this is good news because it means we can trap them. But the bad news means that there could be a nest somewhere if there's still murder hornets flying around. And in this article, they're talking about how they're going to try to track these murder hornets back to their hives so that they can destroy them before the queens come out in September to establish new nests. So the Washington WSDA will be looking for nests using infrared cameras and try to catch live specimens, tag them, and track them back to their colonies. Once a colony is found, the area will be cordoned off and the nest will be destroyed at night. They hope to do this before mid-September, when the hornets will hatch new queens and drones. Here's another invasive species story. Florida has removed 5,000 pythons from the Everglades. These Burmese pythons are not naturally found in Florida, but they reproduce and they kill other species. So the state takes extraordinary measures to combat them. Wildlife officials have collected 5,000 of these Burmese pythons from the Everglades. Each invasive python eliminated represents hundreds of native Florida wildlife saved. How did they get here? Well, they are escaped or released pets. It's illegal to release non-native species into the wild. Well, you certainly have to congratulate Elon Musk on quite a busy week. We had Bob and Doug land on Sunday. We flew Starship sometime this week. What was it, Tuesday? And then just yesterday we launched another 59 Starlink internet satellites into the space. But you really got to hand Elon Musk credit for his trolling on Twitter, especially this week. 2 tweets, one indicating he is not in love with Bill Gates, and another that the pyramids were indeed built by aliens. And so here, Egypt has responded to the tweet saying, hey, you got to come see the pyramids for yourself. So on Friday, Musk tweeted, aliens built the pyramids, Av. And it was liked 538,000 times and retweeted 85,000 times by Sunday morning. On Saturday, Rania A. Al-Mashat Egypt's Minister of International Cooperation invited Musk to come to her country and explore the pyramids' history, including the tombs of the non-alien humans who built them. Well, you know, it's possible the humans did build the pyramids, but I still think they were of alien design. So you're going to have to figure that out, but it's definitely always worth watching Elon Musk on Twitter. And while you're at it, you can follow me on Twitter as well and keep up with these stories all week. Don't you wish you could fly free like this beautiful space butterfly? Well, this image is captured by the European Southern Observatory's Very Large Telescope in northern Chile. It gives us a look at this vibrant planetary nebula known as NGC 2899. Yeah, it's not a real butterfly, but it sure looks like one. Quite lovely. This was first discovered in 1835. It's about 6,500 light years away from Earth. So the prospect of us touring it close up isn't really an option at this point. We're betting on Elon Musk to get us there soon, though. So paleontologists have been going over some of their dinosaur fossils, and they actually think that they have identified cancer in this dinosaur fossil. So reanalysis of a shin bone from the Cretaceous period has revealed signs of a malignant tumor, which is considered to be the first time it's been found in dinosaur paleontology. So this bone was unearthed in 1989. The fibula was badly deformed. The scientists thought it was healing from a fracture. So they looked at it again in 2017 and noticed strange features when viewing the fossil. Scientists previously predicted that dinosaurs probably did get cancer, but they're wondering why they hadn't found a convincing case. So they went to this Royal Tyrrell Museum, which has a very large collection of pathological dinosaur bones. So they recognized this malformed bone was an unusual specimen. So this was a multidisciplinary effort, including paleontology and osteopathology, and the results were published in Lancet Oncology. So they followed the same method of diagnosis as they would with a human patient. They took CT scans of the fossil and examined thinly cut sections under a microscope. Evidence pointed to advanced stage bone cancer. They also compared the diseased fibula to a healthy version taken from a different animal. And they also compared it to a human fibula with a confirmed case of osteosarcoma. Most cancers are manifest in soft tissues and very unlikely to fossilize. So this particular specimen is very special. This is the first confirmed case of malignant cancer in a dinosaur. So we've actually discovered new penguin colonies in Antarctica from outer space. No, the penguins aren't from outer space, but we saw them from there. Basically, satellite images reveal these guano patches, basically large collections of penguin droppings. So it revealed 11 previously unknown emperor penguin colonies in Antarctica, boosting the number of known colonies of the imperiled birds by 20%. They spotted the distinctive red-brown guano patches the birds leave on the ice. These were due to higher resolution images from a new satellite, as the previous scans were unable to pick up these smaller colonies. Two of these colonies were a particular surprise. They were far from the coast, living on sea ice that is anchored to grounded icebergs, a location never seen before. These new colonies are thought to contain a few hundred penguins, which is smaller than average. Emperor penguins are the only penguins to breed on sea ice rather than land, making them especially vulnerable to climate change. All the new colonies are in areas that are at risk. Researchers say these will be canaries in the coal mine as global heating increasingly affects Antarctica. It's an exciting discovery, and it's good news. It takes the overall population count up to just over 500,000 penguins. The new breeding sites are all in locations where recent model projections suggested emperor penguins will decline. So the satellite that made this discovery is the European Space Agency's Sentinel-2 satellite, and it was launched in June of 2015. It has a resolution of 10 meters. This enabled the search for smaller penguin colonies. Some of these colonies were previously reported from airplane sightings, but the Sentinel-2 images confirmed their presence, and there are now 61 known emperor colonies around Antarctica. Here, artificial intelligence analysis of DNA finds that Some ancient unidentified ancestor is in our bloodline and passed down to humans living today. This analysis suggests that branches of the human family tree interbred multiple times, and some humans today carry DNA from an archaic unknown ancestor. 50,000 years ago, a group of humans migrated out of Africa and interbred with Neanderthals in Eurasia. But it's not the only time that this has happened. Sequencing of genomes from Neanderthals and a less well-known ancient group, the Denisovans, has yielded many new insights into these interbreeding events and into the movement of ancient human populations. So this algorithm for analyzing genomes can identify segments of DNA that came from other species, even if that gene flow occurred thousands of years ago and came from an unknown source. They used this algorithm to look at genomes from Neanderthals, a Denisovan, and 2 African humans. Researchers found evidence that 3% of the Neanderthal genome came from ancient humans and estimated that interbreeding occurred between 200,000 and 300,000 years ago. 1% of Denisovan genome likely came from an unknown and more distant relative, possibly Homo erectus. About 15% of these super archaic regions may have been passed down to modern humans who are alive today. So these findings confirm reported cases of gene flow between ancient humans and their relatives, and also point to new instances of interbreeding. Given the number of events, it's likely that this genetic exchange happened whenever 2 different groups overlapped in the same time and space. It solves the challenging problem of identifying tiny remnants of gene flow that occurred hundreds of thousands of years ago when only a handful of ancient genomes are available. This work demonstrates that you can learn about deep human history by jointly reconstructing the full evolutionary history of a collection of sequences from modern humans and archaic hominins. They've been able to reach further back in time than any other computational method they've seen. Thanks for watching ShotokuTech Saturday Storytime. Look for the link to this Blogspot article down below, and you'll have all the links to these stories. Thank you, and have a great week. Thank you for watching ShotokuTech. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share.